Good morning, everyone. My name is Jeff Wensing, OEA Vice President, and it's Read Across America Week. This week I'll be reading to a couple elementary classrooms, one of those being Jamie Thompson's from Steubenville, Ohio. I'll be doing that on Friday. If you are looking for some resources, you can go to nea.org/readacross, and you can find some uplifting, inclusive stories where students can see themselves reflected in a book. STRS election, early April, look for your ballot. We have 3 endorsed candidates, one of those being Carol Carruthers from Lorain for the active seat, and 2 endorsed candidates, Bob Stein and Rita Walters, for the retired seats. So actually they're running for re-election. They've represented us on this board. STRS, SERS, OPERS, our retirement systems are considered one of the best in the industry. Their knowledge, their dedication, they keep a close watch on our retirement fund. So we need that. We need to have that moving forward. So look for your ballot, get your members to look for their ballot. The election will occur in early April. This will not be the last time that you hear about this election that's upcoming for STRS, like I said, in early April. House Bill 67. A couple of weeks ago, I testified on behalf of House Bill 67. This bill would waive state mandated tests in Ohio and also require the Ohio Department of Education to seek a federal testing waiver from the U.S. Department of Education. Well, unfortunately, last week, a day before it was to be voted out of committee, we got word from the feds, and they said they're not offering a testing waiver this year. So needless to say, we were very disappointed. So House Bill 67 is going to be retooled, reworked, and we expect a substitute bill to be released very soon that will seek to waive the 2 state mandated tests over the federal MINs, those being, I believe, an American history and American government test. It will also seek to give some flexibility when it comes to the testing windows in the spring. And lastly, it will seek to allow using the end of course grade for high school graduation in lieu of any standardized test score. It's kind of like last year. Report cards, an update on our report card group. Don Jones continues to meet with his group. We expect some legislation to come out in March, mid-March perhaps, where we want to see the A through F report card go away. From what I understand, that this report card group will replace those letter grades with phrases something like meeting expectation, exceeds expectation, working towards expectation. So we're excited to see that in the month of March, so look for that. Lastly, House Bill 1. House Bill 1, which is formerly called Cupp-Patterson Fair School Funding Plan, in the previous General Assembly, House Bill 305. Well, that General Assembly is over, and it had to be reintroduced in this General Assembly, and it was as House Bill 1, which would provide almost $2 billion per year after it's fully phased in state aid money to our locals. Approximately 70% of that money would go to the least wealthy districts in rural areas, urban areas, small town districts. So we're excited for that. It would also directly fund vouchers and charters, no longer a pass-through model, which we've been advocating for a long time, which many of our schools suffer some serious financial effects from having to shell out money for vouchers and charter schools. So we're excited. We think our path to victory is to get House Bill 1 through the House. In the previous General Assembly, I believe the vote for the Fair School Funding Plan was 87-9. The House has been our friend. The stumbling block has been the Senate. So our path forward is to get it through the House and then look to add it to the budget bill, which is House Bill 110. The House Bill 110, the budget bill, needs to be moved by the end of April out of the House, and the bill needs to be passed by, I believe, June 30th of this year. So that concludes my first update. Thank you, and I look forward to giving you another update next month. Have a good week.